And good morning, everybody, to the Astral Beacon, your live, early morning, depending on what part of the world you are in, show about dreams, astral projection, Halloween Psychic Fair, brought to you by the Halloween Psychic Fair, and so many of these types of topics. The biggest thing we want to do is we want to talk about our dreams, our ideologies, our philosophies, but most importantly, about where you spend your time at night and other psychic ideas. I love all of these types of things. I'm a big lover. I'm your host, Ed Hubbard, also known as Ed the Pagan and as a professional psychic running the Halloween Psychic Fair. And as that, I really do enjoy doing these types of things. And I have really a great deal of curiosity about it all. And we're in a time of the world where, as we've spoken, you've heard it so much, I swear, in the COVID world, we're staying home this year. We're doing less physical travel. We're doing a lot of it, but the increase in astral travel has been substantial. The ideology, the ability for people to sit down and rest, the society to sit down and talk about its issues, has really become part of the nature of 2020. And one of the things I've been asked a lot about is about astral projection, about dreams, about out of body experiences, about the way that our mind interacts with the universe separate of our bodies sometimes, or with our bodies. And one of the things our society is, which is an industrial society. Okay, where you're at in the world, you're in an industrial society. And that's a very important aspect to remember. And it's not about capitalism or communism or socialism. It's about industrialism. And industrial societies demand a lot of energy. And a large component of that energy is human energy. The human energy of labor, the human energy of consumption, the human energy in general, all about it, is harvested and focused into this industrial society. And we find ourselves often exhausted. I know I do. Before COVID, I didn't realize I actually prided myself on a lack of sleep. So did many of you. Oh, I can get by in 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, because the activity of the world so demanded our attention. We didn't have anywhere to go. We didn't have, we had to do that. And in that process, it made us exhausted. We didn't know it. There are two types of rest in the world. The rest where you rest your body, and the other one where you rest your spirit. And that one's a much harder one to get, the second one. And so we rested our bodies, but we never let our bodies rest so deeply as to allow our full inner ability of dreams and psychology, that inner world that we have, to come out spilling out. And this year, uniquely it has. And I have something, I just love this piece. This was sent to me 3 years ago by Reverend Alyssa, first elder of the Crowley tradition now. And here it is. This is by Joseph Campbell. And thank you for allowing me to read this to you. I read somewhere of a, let me start it over. I have read somewhere of an old Chinese curse. May you be born in an interesting time. This is a very interesting time. There are no models for anything that is going on. It's a period of free fall into the future, and each has to make his or her own way. Just make their way, isn't that the more proper way of saying now? The old models are not working. The new ones have not yet appeared. This is this year, very importantly. In fact, if we who are even now shaping the new in the shaping of our interesting lives. Let me read that again. In fact, it is we who are even now shaping the new in the shaping of our interesting lives. We're having interesting lives. This October, I'm going to bring you the most interesting life we can possibly do. And that this is the whole sense in mythological terms of the present challenge. We are the ancestors of an age to come, the unwitting generators of its supporting myth, the mythic monolith that inspires its lives. And this wasn't a modern statement. This was a fairly modern statement. Joseph Campbell, Goddesses, Mystery of the Feminine Divine, copyright 2013 Joseph Campbell Foundation. And so that is where we're at. We're in a place without a model. So one of the things we're going to hope with the Astral Beacon right now, and I hope that you will enjoy it too, and will come to put your comments where you're just reading it. So I'm going to go back over it. And I'm looking for dreams to interpret. I think that's a very important one. As you know, I've done a great deal of fae work recently, so we're going to talk about the fairies. And on October 1st, full moon, we're actually going to put the actual real Astral Beacon to work, which is going to be an attractor so that people can find their ways in their dreams, in their astral, and then hopefully on the web to the Astral Beacon, and we can talk about all of this. So the last piece I'm going to do for this morning, and I think this will be a little bit fun, I'm going to do you the top 5 things that people want to know about dreaming, i.e. interpretations of symbols and dreams, the 5 top symbols that they come to me and they discuss with me. Number 5, surprisingly, is rats. You would be surprised at how many people dream of rats. And rats represent one of 2 things. If they're in a constructive mode, i.e. talking to you, it's usually considered wisdom. For rats know a lot of things. They are the secretive ones who lie in there. And if you take more of an Eastern appearance, they are just one of many animals who are useful, but they are secretive and they are willing to tell you secrets. So if you see a rat who's talking to you in your dream, you're learning secrets. They're secrets that you know. But because of our Western psychology and things like that, they're also seen as a carrier of pestilence. So if you see them destroying food or destroying things like that, you're worried about outside forces somewhere in your dreams about attacking you. So that was an interesting one. Number 4, I am finding out people are talking about books. They see books in their dreams, and they think they can read the titles, and some things they can't. So reading is a very essential thing. Some people believe that you cannot read in dreams, and some people believe they can. There's been no real research done that'll really dictate if you can read in your dreams or not. Edgar Cayce was a fantastic one. He used to take books and put them under his pillows, and it is believed that he would then, by the morning, absorb that knowledge of those books, and he could speak directly of those books. So that's the kind of dream reading that Edgar Cayce, the great American prophet, did. So when you see a book, it is either, and if you cannot open it and not open it, it's again about secrets. There's secrets there. Otherwise, it can be the Akashic Records, interpreted oftentimes as the Akashic Records, and there's a lot more deal to books, but we basically see books as thought. And that's why I like that one. Number 3 is cars. You're driving in a car. Now, part of this is because of the dream's ability to connect your reality. There's an inner part of the dream that's very healthy for us. It's necessary for us. There have been so many experiments that have done, and there's been some truly horrific ones done by totalitarian regimes that we know about. It just shows us how important dreaming is. You'll go mad if you don't dream, they say. They've proven this beyond a reasonable doubt. So cars are another one, and so it helps us clean us out. So cars tell us if you're in a car driving fast and quick, it means you think you're getting somewhere quick. If you see yourself in a crash, it means it's time to think about what you're doing. You're getting too anxious. You're not paying attention. So a lot of car symbolism is based on kind of real world symbolism, so you can interpret that too. Number 2, and I'm not surprised at this one. I would think that this one would be a little different, but I thought this one would have been number 1, but that isn't. Falling or flying. Now, the idea that if you hit bottom in your dreams, if you fall, you will die. There's a lot of people who have dreamt of actually hitting the ground from falling, and they haven't died. Now, sometimes it's the sensation of falling out of the bed or falling inside the dream, such as sitting in a chair, tipping forward, falling out of your bed, crawling out of bed, kind of just falling out of your bed in any number of ways. Sometimes tragic, sometimes slow. People kind of crawl off it. People move a lot, and I'll talk about that in another thing. But falling in a dream means that you're not in control. That you feel like you are no longer in control, and that the world is in control, and all you can do is just let it happen. For a lot of people, that's very important. And where you're falling into tells a lot of it. Sort of like, and you always heard of the pits of despair, the black pit. So if you feel like you're falling in there. The other sensation out of that is if you can stop yourself from falling, oftentimes you can start flying. And this is the beginning where some people believe the astral projection comes in. And there are people who then turn around and dream about the skies. Number one fear, or it's fear slash dream piece, being nude in front of a crowd. Now, like I said, I thought falling and flying would be number one, but no, I discovered that it is about the idea of being nude. People see themselves nude, doing a speech, and then suddenly they're nude. Everything. See, you got a Christmas gathering, at a Thanksgiving gathering, at a Halloween party, at all of these different places, doing a speech in front of the board of directors, and they are suddenly nude. No explanation. They're just nude in front of these people. And that's your dream saying that you're fear, you're afraid, you're vulnerable, you feel naked. And really, this is one of the things that I said in my life is about why nudists can deal with this better. And there's other people about your body shape, your body form, the ability to be nude. Could I stand in front of a crowd naked is a question. And the answer, majority of people says, no, I couldn't. I could. I've done it. I spent a week at a nudist camp to get this ability under more of my control. So, if I had to walk out in a crowd of 20,000 people naked, I could do it today. But for a lot of people, that is one of the biggest fears, being naked, being seen naked. People would rather give a public speech, which is number one fear in America, public speaking. So that's today's Astral Beacon. Those are some of the interpretation of dreams. What I want you to do now is, of course, you keep a journal for your dreams. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about a little bit how you can continue this process, as I'm going to take you deeper and deeper into our dream world first thing in the morning. But if you have dreams that you want interpreted, you can send them to me at edthepagan@gmail.com, or you can put it in the links below and let me know what they are, and I will do my best to interpret it. I will be bringing guests on here. We'll be talking about a lot of different things. This is just the beginning of the HalloweenPsychicFair.com. I want to say thank you for spending some time with me, and let us start the journey to the Astral Beacon. Halloween